Yo, welcome back to the podcast, the Polaris X podcast. How is everybody doing today?
Hey, cuties.
What's
Hey,
up, cuties?
Polaris X, the only podcast that matters.
The best podcast in the world.
Damn straight.
I didn't say
I'm. You didn't hear it from us.
that.
What's going on, guys? I'm Diego. That's Justin. Hang on, let's turn
Yo,
on our cameras. Yo,
yeah.
what's going on, guys?
Hello.
yo,
That's
yo.
Check it
John.
out. I got
That's
this Han
Justin.
Solo. I found this
I'm
Han Solo.
Diego. That's Han Solo. Today,
It's pretty good.
episode 6. Ride the Lightning, Metallica, album review,
Ep-
and
Episode
much
6
and much
Return
more.
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. How are you guys doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
Same old stuff. School's almost done, though. I think I have like one more day to just write and hand in my last paper, and then I'm fucking done for like a few months.
That's it.
So I'm hyped.
Well, next week, I have to work a couple 12-hour shifts, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Sounds rough,
Yeah,
man.
fuck.
And they're all starting at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow, that's fucking brutal stuff.
Fuck,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, so you could see how
Yeah.
life is just a little shitty right now.
Yeah, but for me, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I got school stuff. There's like 5 days left until the exam day, so just grinding out some studying, grinding out some math problem practice, and that's pretty much it. So that's what's
But
going on.
you're not doing exams already? Like kind of like John, where you have to do the exams at a set. Oh, okay, you have a specific date of when it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Uh,
Anyways, all right. So
fuck.
let's get into the podcast. Justin, you wanted to talk about something before we started?
Oh yeah, yeah, I did. So this quarantine, everything's closed. Amusement parks, movie theaters, anything that just spells out fun is basically just out of the question. So I've been getting back into video games a lot, and a lot of the video games that I've gotten, they're older games. I mean, I downloaded games from like the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era, and I've noticed something. Just compare to like what's going on now in the gaming industry. Um, I'm playing a game called Bully, which is made by the same guys who made Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. This came out in 2006, and it's kind of like the same concept as Grand Theft Auto, where there's the notoriety system where if you commit crimes, you could your wanted level kind of goes up.
Yeah.
There's a few similarities, and it's not the same map as GTA 5 or San Andreas, but there is so much in this game. There's like at some points, like that's one of its biggest flaws is that it's overwhelming with content. And what I noticed with now is that a lot of big budget games, um, what was I gonna say? A lot of big budget games, you're paying sometimes $70 to $90, and if you get a special edition, 100 we can talk about. And after paying all that, you're still gonna leave out content. Like why? We're in the
Yeah.
age where computers and consoles, especially like PlayStation 5, they have bigger, they can hold so much more data. Why not take advantage of the capabilities of the full engine and the full handling that a console can take? This game from 2006 has more content than a lot of huge AAA games are. There's the story missions. There's um because it takes place in a school, right? So there's story missions, there's the classroom mini games, there's all the collectibles you can find 6 transistors, 40 like gaming nerd cards, smash 26 pumpkins to unlock and just a whole bunch of other shit to unlock everything. Then that doesn't even count all the fucking missions where you can take out, kind of like territory missions, where if you complete it, you get like a new hub where you can sleep and save your game. Then there's all the errands you can do and all the places you can graffiti. How is it that nowadays there's open world games that are fucking empty? I remember playing Borderlands 2. That game felt empty.
Wait, why? I fucking played that one and I thought it was fun.
Borderlands 2?
Yeah.
It was fun, but after you finish all the missions, there's not a whole lot. I feel like a lot of older games. You know what it is? It's that it's like these companies see that they take advantage of the fact that they can take chunks out of a game and then charge you for it as DLC. That's like going to McDonald's. You pay the full price for a Big Mac trio. You got your Big Mac. You should get your fries and your drink. You pay the full fucking thing. And then they give it to you with only the Big Mac and the drink, and it's like, well, I paid for the fries too. Yeah, but that's
unlock it.
That's DLC. Yeah, and it's like, well, I just paid for the full DLC. Fucking thing. I paid $80.
Like, what? I stopped. Like the last game I bought, I think was maybe like 5-6 years ago or something. And games were like, it's ingrained in my brain that video games should be no more than, I don't know, like obviously less than $100. I mean, I don't know where this came from. Games are like dude, like if you're gonna buy a brand new game, you're paying $100. I mean,
and it better have all the content.
That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. $60. That's fucking retail gaming. Like that's not. Yo, what the fuck is this?
Sense.
Like,
yeah, that's inflation, man. That's what happens to games.
Yeah.
It's just next year, the year after, games are gonna be $100, and then it's gonna go to 120, and then eventually we're gonna get a new currency, and then we're gonna become the EU, and next year it's gonna be the North American Union, and then
we're gonna have a new gaming cryptocurrency.
But yeah, we're gonna start accepting Bitcoin.
Like it makes no sense to me. Like how good is a video game? You're gonna pay fucking $100. Like, yo, what the fuck? This better
be the best video game ever if I'm paying that much. Yeah. But I'm noticing, like, from all the games I've played that are old, whether, like I said, it's Bully or I play the 1998 version of Tom Clancy Rainbow Six. I'm trying to think what else. Doom 2, Wolfenstein. Star Wars, the original Wolfenstein 2, Wolfenstein 3D, Star Wars: The Dark Forces, what's it called, Fallout New Vegas, which I know is a newer game, but it's been out for a decade plus now. The Elder Scrolls Morrowind. It's at all these games. You don't feel like there's missing content. It feels like a complete package, which is now, and it doesn't even boggle my mind now that companies have no problem just basically raping your wallets and then wanting to take more. And it's like, bro, that's why you got people just. I know quite a few people that they just stop playing video games just because it's like it's getting too expensive. I'm getting cheated out of content that should be in the game. There's even Capcom did this, which fuck you, Capcom. There was content. Bro. There was content. I haven't heard that name forever. Yeah, Street Fighter, Resident Evil. Did they make? They made they made Resident Evil. There was content that was already on disc content that they charged you for. Why? Why would you do that? Like, I know why you would do that because you're a greedy son of a bitch. But like, I'm going back to all these old games, and it doesn't feel like there's missing. It feels like a complete package. It feels like my Big Mac trio with everything there.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
I
lot of
read
the
no, I just wanted to add the EA games, or there was this EA game that had an issue with that, and like
they're the worst at it.
yeah. So anyway,
And
I just thought I would add that.
even downloadable content like back then, like an expansion pack or a DLC. I mean, it's like you had your game, and then when you had the DLCs, it felt like you had like a second game with it. Nowadays, it's like here
Here's
you
half
have
the game.
half this game, and you can buy
Yeah,
$15 this, $15 that, fifteen
yeah,
dollars
fuck
that to
that.
complete this, and it's like, bro, like I paid fucking $80 for this, and you're gonna cheat me out of it, and if and
Exactly.
it's and it's so stupid. It's no more. I have a game now that I downloaded. It feels like a new game. It just kind of like here's my game, and here have a map pack, have a skin pack, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Just.
what am I, a fucking 13-year-old playing Fortnite? No, bitch. I'm playing
It's
San
bullshit.
Andreas. I'm playing Manhunt. I'm playing fucking Skyrim. I don't want your
Yeah,
fucking map pack. Okay?
I
I'm
believe
not
that
some
that a game, like a video game, should not have a fucking DLC. Like if you're paying full price for a game, you should get what it's intended to have, even if there's like extra shit. Like what?
no, like I don't mind that. I don't mind if like
It's
you
so
got
dumb.
I don't mind if you got your game and there's some second things you want to have. It's like that's no problem. But like, do you really think I need some fucking I need uh to download for fucking $5 different colors for my armor? No.
Yeah. They're just.
Like
They're
Yes,
what?
just. They're just
yes, you
gouging
need that.
your money
Like,
now. They're just trying to sell you shit. Just to wrap it up, like they're just trying to get more money out of you. So I know for Pokemon, right? So there's like the new Pokemon game that came out. It's just you download it, and then instead of getting a whole other thing, they made DLC to it, and it's like, bro, I'm not paying for that. Like, then they added like, oh, you need it became almost pay to win because now they made,
Yeah,
oh, exclusive moves, exclusive items in the DLC, and you need
fuck
those to
that.
be competitive, and it's
no.
like it's not worth it to me. So
I
yeah,
That
understand.
will
but
I
wreck a
understand.
game. That's gonna ruin it.
yeah, so
I understand microtransactions for free mobile games, but if you're spending $30 for a console game, whether it's DS or PC or fucking PlayStation, Xbox, I want everything there. I don't mind if your DLC is I have my game and oh, I have some second thoughts and whatever, but don't make it that you take fucking chunks out of my game and then I gotta fucking pay more, or just like it's useless. So that's why I'm just to wrap it up. I'm playing all these older games because now it's like it's back when they actually gave a shit
yeah,
and and didn't they they didn't they cared about the product and made a full complete game because now that everything's online, they figure ways. Well, people like online shopping. Well, let me pull this out for you. Give me $15 for this part that's essential to the
Let
story.
me pull this out. That's
Kill yourself. Like what?
iconic moment right there. Iconic Justin moment.
Fuck, man. Anyways, that's what. And I've been playing Bully a lot, and dude,
You just beat the shit out of kids. That's the
dude.
game.
But there's so much content. That's what, like I said, it's one of the flaws where it's too much. It's overwhelming. But I'm done like half the story, but I'm only 32.8% the game because of all the content. I can play this for days and days, and I still won't be completed. And that's why Bully is better than your fucking favorite game. You fucking Call of Duty fanboys, get out of your mom's basement. You know what I mean? Like go visit the outdoors. That's not an expansion pack, and you can get a new skin called a soccer ball. Losers.
Yo, uh, what's your rank?
DLC, you can
COD?
get a frisbee.
Yo, I'm 8 prestige, okay, bro? Stop talking to me.
Prestige fine.
Hey guys, it's Diego from the future, and my part was muted for this whole part, so I'm just gonna do a nice quick voiceover of what I said. So, how I discovered Metallica was I would go to hockey games with my dad, local hockey games, to go see the Montreal Canadiens. And the Montreal Canadiens played at the Bell Center, and we went there. And every time the Habs, well, the short version for Montreal Canadiens, every time they'd come onto the ice, for whom the bell tolls would play, especially right after the intermission, from what I remember. So they'd come onto the ice, and like they announce all the players, the starting lineup, all that stuff. And I remember really connecting with that as a kid. And I remember playing hockey, like with the neighbors' kids, playing hockey with them. I'd have like the goalie equipment, and I'd have the hockey net, so I'd be the one to have to drag the net to where it needs to be. So every time they call me, they go, "Oh, Diego, do you want to go play hockey?" I go, "Okay, wait, hang on, let me just go get everything." So I'd put on the goalie equipment, put the hockey net over my shoulder, and then drag it to where it needs to be. And as I'm walking to where the net, placing the net where it needs to be, from the bell toll singing in my head, ba 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 ba, the net's like over my shoulder, and I'm walking there, and I would sing this and not know what it was. Like, I didn't even know what Metallica was when I was singing that, and it wasn't until years later that I discovered that's what Metallica was. Like, oh, that song's called "For Whom the Bell Tolls." I didn't know that. So that's basically what I said. I'm just gonna leave it here and enjoy the rest of the episode.
And it's
They
like
transcend metal. It's kind of like "We Will Rock You." It transcends rock music, and you could find it in sports. That's how crazy it is. John, how did we will? Not the same song. John, how did you discover him?
Well, even as a kid, I already kind of I knew what the name was and what but I didn't know, like, I guess, who they were, I guess. But like in Sec 1, I watched a VH1 thing, a documentary that was on YouTube about Metallica or something, and it was made in like 2000, like fucking 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there.
Some kind of monster for the Saint
No,
Anger.
no, it wasn't that one, but I saw that one too. This one, and pretty much up until that point, I was listening to hard rock mainly, and they were the band that kind of put me into, like, oh fuck, like they made me discover that there's like this whole thing out there. And
thing of what, thrash metal or metal in general?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because all I liked at the time was Van Halen, Black Sabbath, AC/DC. That's it. Like, that's all I listened to for like 6 months in Sec 1. Just like, that's all I fucking cared about. And then I heard I heard all of their like hit songs and stuff, but then I went in deeper and I bought the first album. So I got hooked on to that one first. Just like all the songs, like I fell in love with everything about it. Like every fucking song I really love. And now I love it now too. And yeah, and I mean that was basically it. And then and then by Sec 2, I was listening to their two essentially all their albums except the Black Album for some reason. Just like the first 4. Classic. I would just like recycle those for like the whole year in Sec 2. So that was basically it.
Cool.
Shit.
And you, Justin?
The first time I ever listened to Metallica, I was in the car. I'm trying to think where this was. I don't know why, but Diego looks like he's frozen in this video. That's all I was gonna say.
No.
You just look like
no,
but it just looked like you weren't moving. I was like, what, did his thing glitch? Sorry. I was definitely the age of like, single digits. I think we're at a garden store and and a gardening store, and I was waiting in the car with my mom there or something, and while my dad was inside, and I remember hearing Enter Sandman. And everyone knows how big Enter Sandman was, but the little kid me was
Yeah.
always listening to Aerosmith. And well, actually, when I was that young, I mean, I liked Aerosmith, but I wasn't heavy into music like now. But I remember the first time I remember Enter Sandman was that, and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. Then when I started getting into CD collecting, I remember going to Walmart one day in like sec 5 or 4, and I bought Slipknot's debut and Master of Puppets. Slipknot
Nice.
debut, couldn't care for. Master of Puppets, I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah.
And then what really got me, two other things got me really into them. I was going through a phase of like just big 90s metal bands, so Korn, Pantera, and some of Metallica's biggest songs are from the 90s, from the Black album. And I think it didn't make me discover the rest of their 90s catalog. It made me go back to their 80s. And also, last thing was the fact that One and Trapped Under Ice were on the Guitar Hero track list. And that made me like them. That made me want to listen to them even more. I don't really listen to them that much now. I mean, I usually just, listen to Dying Fetus and puke noises with metal with somehow guitar buzzsaws in the background. But I still appreciate classic Metallica. And yeah,
Awesome.
It wasn't that interesting. It was just Guitar Hero. I was a kid in a garden. Yeah, that's basically it.
All right, now, so that's how we discovered Metallica. Now we're gonna move on to the Hammer. Are you ready,
Oh
Justin?
no, I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't think of an intro. I gotta start.
That's the best part. It's all off the cuff.
Hold on.
I just want to say it's gonna be hard for you to top last week, but go.
Which one was last week's? The rap one.
Yeah.
Rapping.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. What's a word that rhymes with thrasher?
Masher.
I don't know.
Masher. What up, thrashers and potato mashers? It's Polaris X introducing a new segment of The Hammer, where we review rock and metal albums all throughout the decades. Today, we got another classic thrash review. Consider one of the most influential metal albums of all times and the 80s. It's Ride the Lightning by Metallica, in case we didn't say it 6 times before this. It's Ride the Light. Look at Diego's shirt. Diego, show your shirt.
That chair is riding lightning.
Yeah, that's as good as the intro is gonna get. No, thrashers and potato mashers. That's what you get.
Wait,
that's what you get.
Rest in peace, Cliff Burton. And now we begin.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Master.
A moment of silence.
A moment of silence.
Okay, we can continue.
Ride the Lightning.
Fire. Let's go in album order. So the album opens up with Fight Fire with Fire. Okay, this song to me is the battery of Ride the Lightning.
Exactly.
It's the
They're similar
of Ride the Lightning. I feel like every album. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Those 3 albums have a fast song, and this is the equivalent of that. So, and it opens up right off the gates, right? So you got that nice acoustic intro that soothes you in, and then it bitch slaps you, and it's going, no, this is Metallica, we're a thrash metal band.
Exactly.
And we're gonna fight fire with fire, and then it fucking punches you in the nutsack. And then...
what I like about the intro, too, is not only the acoustic guitar sound nice, but then there's, I don't want to say a keyboard, but it sounds almost like a harpsichord playing in the background too. I like that little texture
Yeah.
too, and
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful.
it does somewhat. It's a fantastic starter. It just with that little bit, and then like Diego said, it just fucking slap chop your fucking balls off with pure fucking thrash.
Vince here.
Vince, you're
Fucking slapping your nut.
I mean, it gives your ball sack a hickey with like the fucking with these.
Yo. It gives your balls like a
But what I think what I like. I think I think what
Sorry.
what I like about this song a lot is that not only does it just sound like it's just pummeling you nonstop with pure thrash brutality, but I think this shows some of Lars's best fucking drumming. I mean, this shows like now he's pretty iffy, but on this album, especially this song, how he can keep up with the pace and just never break a sweat. I mean, it sounds seamless throughout the whole time, and the guitar is feeling like just like a straight punch to the throat. A lot of body parts are getting hit, metaphorically.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, his drumming is probably like this is when Lars was in his prime, throughout like the 80s, 90s, and then when it got to, I guess after the Black Album, that's when it kind of like tapered off a bit. But even on Hardwire, the 2016 album, there's some hints of like good drumming, but live it's just a completely different story. We're not gonna go there, but it's just a completely different
that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah,
like he's been doing this his whole life, so I mean
you get older, so
like he can't rip like he used to,
No.
but
All right.
for people that hate on him, it's not because of the first 4 albums or 5. I mean, it's just but I wanted to say a cool fact about, not a fact about this song, but I remember the first time I ever heard it, and I bought the album on my iPod in Sec 2, and I remember I was at the old port with my mom and my aunt, and we were on our way home, and I remember I heard the first album and I loved it, and I was like, okay, now it's time. I'm gonna listen to
Lighting, the second album.
Yeah. And I swear to God, I remember I wasn't used to just like how fast it was, and I couldn't understand what was going on at first, because I was like, okay, it's just like soft kind of vibe, and then it's just like really fast, and it was like the absolute fastest thing I've ever heard up until that point, right? Because like I didn't know much, I guess, but this song rips. The lead is incredible. There's this certain line that Kirk does. It goes like that part on top of how fast it is, just fucking, oh my God, it's like
when compared to the debut, you could see like a lot of the solos and a lot of guitar playing on Ride the Lightning. They're showing a lot more hints of melody, and you can tell that just I said from definitely the slower parts of this album, but like you said now, especially on the song, I feel like the solo shows melody. It shows more in the riffs, but I feel like in the solos too. The lyrics too. This is where I'm a little iffy about the not really iffy, but I don't think it's the song's strongest points. Is the lyrical content. I mean, the first song, I mean, it tackles a heavy thing about nuclear warfare, but I think not to compare, not because I don't want to get the Megadeth and Metallica fans all riled up, but Metallica talking about warfare, nuclear warfare, and Megadeth. I mean, Metallica. I'm reading some of the lyrics now. There's not a lot of description and lush creativity within them. I feel like Metallica's lyrics, they're like the lyrical writing. It's catchy to sing along to, but I feel like writing wise, I don't think it's their forte.
I think it's definitely a improvement from the first album. I mean,
The
the
first
first
album
album,
was
it's like,
it's
what the fuck were they
juvenile.
writing?
Yeah,
It's like
but
headbanging in front of the stage and like that was the first album, and
but
but
I do like
anyway.
the some of the lines, especially the first verse. Do unto others what they've done to you, but what the hell is this world coming to? Blow the universe into nothingness. Nuclear warfare shall lay us to rest. The first two lines, the do unto others and what is this world coming to? I feel like because when I thought fight fire with fire, I thought the song was gonna be about karma and how about getting revenge, and then it's so misleading within after talking about
Yeah.
nuclear warfare. I was like, okay, but I do like the second little not couplet. I don't know my music terminology. Um, I also find here this is my biggest gripe with the album, especially towards the end when he repeatedly says fight fire with fire, fight
Oh
fire with
yeah.
fire. I find it just I find but when he says fight fire with fire, fight fire with fire, it just doesn't mix too well, and I'm like, eesh,
Yeah,
don't
but
start doing
the
this.
very last time he says it is like it works.
This nice yell, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah,
I
that's
know.
how it ends, eh? Yeah, that's it.
I don't really have anything else to say for a song other than it's it's a perfect fucking intro song.
It's
it
a
really
fucking
is.
banger. I mean, that's it.
All right, let's move on to Ride the Lightning now, the second track on the album. We're gonna have to speed up just a bit because
Yeah.
we spent like about 10 minutes, I feel like, just on that song alone, so we
Okay.
can't do that for each song. So we're gonna speed up just a bit. So now we're doing Ride the Lightning. I'm pretty sure
Right the
Lars wrote this riff, if I'm not mistaken. He wrote one of
Oh,
the riffs on this song. I feel like
that's
it was the
fucking
opening
cool.
one, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but from what I
Yeah.
remember from the interviews, I feel like that's what it was. And to me, that's just like when I found out about that fact, I was like, "What? What do you mean you wrote a fucking riff? He's not a fucking
Yeah.
you're the drummer.
yeah."
I find this song is sorry, go.
Yeah, and
My
I was like,
apologies.
it's a good like riff too. It's not like a shit riff. It's a good like opening riff.
Wait,
As well. Uh,
or
well,
the
no.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's such a
Holy shit.
memorable part, and
Yeah.
I find a
I
lot of
know.
these riffs
Yeah.
are memorable, especially this one. And I not to compare it again, but you know how it was Holy Wars and then it was Hangar 18. I
Yeah.
feel like Fight Fire with Fire and then Ride the Lightning, perfect song, perfect next songs, still showcasing that
Yeah.
brutality. And I feel like now the lyrical content is way better. As talking about such heavy things like a man preparing for death
Yeah.
by electric chair and execution. I find that's really cool. The
Yeah.
solo kicks ass. It kicks
Yeah,
ass.
I know
Yeah,
that
it
it's
is.
one of his best. Just though, like right off the bat, it's just amazing, like two-handed thing going on. Like fucking perfect notes. Yeah. I feel this song is also kind of a next step for the band because I think if you listen to how the albums go on, there's more riffs being put into it to like each song and stuff like that. And I feel this song especially is kind of the first thing where they're like, we're gonna make long ass songs and not fucking give a shit and make it really wild and have all these parts attached to it. And I feel like with Ride you could see the seed being planted in the first album, and I think with Ride the Lightning it's like fucking going,
Yeah.
it's
The
Mhm.
little
yeah.
buds are being planted. You know, the seed that's growing, the plant's growing, and you can see the buds starting to form into the beautiful flower
Yeah.
that is Metallica.
I'm trying. I don't even think I have anything negative to say about the song. I find the bass in it is. I guess another little gripe is I wish the bass was kind of more. more in your face, but you still hear it and it still is prominent. But I find it's only prominent on side A. After that, I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a bass line on the second one.
I thought the bass in Ride, you hear it very, very loudly within like the first few hits, the boom, boom. But once the whole band comes in, it's there, but it's a bit like
it's under the radar.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you listen for it, you can hear it, but you have to go looking for it. It's not prominent, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I felt like maybe on the first album it was a bit more prominent.
It was.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it all depends because like what you said, I noticed on after the third or fourth song, the bass is a bit like sometimes I'm trying to find it, I'm like I don't know where it is, or like sometimes you're like halfway through a song and then a bass note just kind of is out there somewhere, and then you're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm trying to, but yeah.
All right, let's move on. Unless you have any other thing to say.
No, I was gonna say let's move on to the next song.
Song. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, next one.
So let's move on to the next song, which is For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Fucking classic song. I mean, it's just a classic song. The bass lick at the during the opening notes is just like a iconic line.
I feel like that bass part is peak performance. The peak bass performance on this entire album. It is.
Yeah.
Whenever you hum do 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 do, it's not the guitar, it's the bass, and I love how it's somewhat descending to do 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 do.
Yeah.
And even the lyrics too, I think are really strong, and I feel here James has a nice bite as he's barking these vocals. And even the drum parts, there's a lot of power hit to them, and I love the outro with the bells clinging, and then this crazy whammy section. Only thing that I really wish there was a solo.
There's kind of a solo. There's
it's a whammy.
There's a do 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 do.
That's a solo? I thought it was kind of like
I don't know. It's like some kind of line going.
It's a little lead thing that happened.
I noticed
a shredderific
song though. It's a very different song for them. I feel like the song has its own vibe. It's not a fast song, or it's kind of like this in between vibe song, but the hook is just so good. Like every line being said, it fits with what like the whole band's doing and stuff like that. And to be honest, I don't even think it needs like a big lead solo where he's going over and under the frets and crazy shit. Like I don't think it needs that.
But
I feel like this. This song I'm like biased towards because it's the first song that I heard.
Yeah, it's the first Metallica song.
But when I was listening to this album again, I forgot about the transitions between the songs. Like I never realized how like seamless it was. Like it gives you no room to breathe. Like from the last song, from Ride, like this, and like it ends right, and then this song comes in, and then you hear the bell swinging.
Yeah,
like the bell kind of like fades in, and then bum bum bum. Here's the song, and like there's no better intro for me than that song.
I feel like though, other than that song, this is what I noticed from listening to it. I felt like the transitions from song to song, I mean, they fit, but I didn't think it was anything all too like noteworthy compared to like something like Sad Wings of Destiny, where it transitions so well. I feel like it doesn't feel like a lot of the early Sabbath records, or once the song's done, there's like 8 seconds of fucking silence, and then boom, now we can get the song.
That was raw days. Like that was like fucking like the early 70s. It was just okay. Record your song and like fuck off. Like that's.
All right.
I don't know, dude. I got nothing negative to say about this about the song. It's legit. The first 3 songs for me, they're perfect, and the next song that Diego's gonna hate me for saying,
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black.
this is where
sellout
the album
song.
falls. This is where the
Everyone
album
says Metallica sold out on the Black Album. No, they've been trying to sell out since 1984, guys.
I don't really see it as selling out. I see it as,
No,
I mean, this is to me is like like kind of like what they would showcase on One is a lot of melodic segments. And I will say I like the intro with the acoustics, and it really sets the mood for something, talking about something as dark as Fade to Black, as the lyrical content is. But I feel like after a while, I just, what the fuck is John doing?
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I just see turn black. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? He just palms up.
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black.
But
what the fuck happened to my camera? Oh, there we go.
It faded to black.
Orange.
I find though after a while the riff, it doesn't sound as interesting, and this is where James's worst performances are. He's trying to, in this very melodic song, it's not like the soft singing he did during the verses of One, and then he added some harshness. I mean, this is like a even more melodic, I find, than One. And then there's sometimes where harsh vocals, and it's just like what are you doing? That's not it. It doesn't even sound fucking good. Like, add it to the chorus when it's big. Like towards the second half, I find when it does pick up, I feel like that's the appropriate time. But when it's the melodic part, no, it's like what are you doing? It sounds
fade away.
I feel like this is like another case of Sad Wings of Destiny, where I feel like
another case
where I feel like this is kind of like, because they just came off of doing Kill 'Em All, which is pure thrash, and then now that they're adding melody, I feel like this is kind of like their version of, they're putting the blocks together and they're testing the waters, and it wouldn't be till their next album, Master, where this is where they really home in on their skills. Not that they weren't talented already. I mean, of course they were, but I feel like this, adding the melody with some harsh vocals in it, I feel like this is just testing, and I feel like this song does not show a good representation of how they could do it.
But it's because we know what the albums are after this. That's why, right? It's like we know how good they could. Right, it's like we know what they're able to fucking write. So,
but I remember this song being better though, and I was like, I listened back to it, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, the song really kicks ass during the last half, right? That riff,
when it picks up,
and then there's just all these like lead solos going on top of each other, and they're fucking going in one ear and the other, and it's like this huge piece of music. It's really, really powerful stuff.
And the outro to this song are the best parts of this song, I have to agree. Especially the outro with the double bass going on, and in the intro with Kirk's the opening solo. Going on. That's recognizable. That's iconic, that solo. Like, you can't go wrong with that. And because the song is a bit slower, it's a bit slower, so I could understand, Justin, why you wouldn't like it, because maybe you're not used to that type of style of music. But,
he's like listening to fucking 300 a minute blast.
So that's funny. It doesn't sound like Agathocles. This is trash. But I like some of the slower songs, like One and the title track and Justice for All with the slower bits. I just feel like the riff was okay at first, then I thought it was a little forgettable, and then the vocals kind of just ruined it. It isn't until the second half comes on that I think it sounds better. Another case like Sad Wings of Destiny, I'm going to compare that, the Dreamer Deceiver, where the second half it picks up, and I think that's when it gets better. I guess one other positive, since I wasn't too positive about this song. I feel like the bass line, it sounds haunting, especially for the slower song. It's not the most complex thing you can do, but I do feel it does fit the mood.
It
And
does,
that's
yeah.
about all I can say for the song. It's not my favorite for sure.
Yeah, but it's a good song. It's a really, I guess because
No.
the song is called Fade to Black is because, and the song's maybe a bit long, so it fades into the end. So
Good thing it fades into a
nah,
better song.
And now we're gonna move on to another
yo, stop dick riding, bro. Stop.
and now we're gonna move on to Trapped Under Ice, which is a better
fucking
song.
Brings
heavy
back
metal
the
thrasher.
heaviness,
It brings
A
back
thrasher.
it brings it up.
the ferocity, the speed. Dude, tell me, as soon as I hear the dun, 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 in the beginning, I'm already riled up. I think maybe this is one of Lars's peak performances on the album.
Yeah.
Is like I said, I don't feel like it's off key at all. I feel he's steady the whole time and he's relentless with it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I gotta say though is this: I think this is when the bass just becomes a little less noticeable.
You have to go looking for it.
Yeah, but I mean James's vocals, especially for the intensity of the song, this is perfect. This is when you got to use your harsh vocals. This is when you got to let out all your energy, and I feel like the band's chemistry really pulls it off with this one. And the solos fucking rip.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember you texted Diego that this one might have been one of your least favorite
No,
songs.
I'm gonna no. That's a lie. This song
Oh,
because
oh,
I didn't know this song existed first of all, and
what?
Yeah, I didn't know
What?
this song existed at all. So because it's like on I guess the B side or the A side, I forget. Anyways, it's buried in the album. It wasn't
Yeah.
because for
Yeah,
me,
track 5.
yeah, like the way I listen to music, I go on YouTube, autoplay, and just let whatever play. So, and this song is not that popular on the album.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Unless you're a fan, like a really good fan, like you'll know about this song. But at the time when I was just discovering Metallica, like I didn't know what this song was. So when I went over to Justin's house and we played Guitar Hero together,
World Tour guitar.
yeah, and then
You're like, yo, this new Metallica song.
yeah, that's what it was.
You're like, holy.
I was like, what? What is this Trapped Under Ice? I was like, I don't know this song. And
Yeah.
even Fight Fire with Fire, I didn't know. And I remember when I went to Heavy MTL in
No?
2014 for the first time, there was a by request show, and at the end of the song, they were gonna play a song, so you had to vote, right, for what song had to be played at the end, and it was between Fight Fire with Fire, The Four Horsemen, and Fuel. And I was like, oh god, please don't play Fight Fire with Fire, because I don't know what it is. I'm not going to be able to sing
Please,
along,
yeah.
and I'm going to look like an idiot. And then they didn't play. They played The Four Horsemen at the end.
Nice.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. But I'm getting off track. But this song, Trapped Under Ice, that's why I didn't have an emotional, like a personal connection to it. And that's why
Okay.
I guess liked it less. But the more you listen to it, the more you like it, like any other song.
It's
And
fun.
this song is fun, like especially in I forget, like the third verse or like before the last chorus when it goes scream from my soul, pain mystified, hell
Yeah.
forevermore. Like when he gets to that part, I fucking
That's
love
a
it.
fucking riff.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
part of the whole song. Like I listen to that
Yeah.
song just to listen to that part. Like
There's this riff, man. I love that. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun.
I know that's like pretty fucking amazing.
That's
Yeah, it's
fucking
fucking
See-
good.
I love that. That's great.
The song
For me, it's. I just want to say that it sounds like it should have been on the first album or something.
Yeah.
I get that vibe from it.
because it's not
but
as
yeah, no,
technical
that's it.
as the other songs.
No way. Yeah.
Like yeah, it's not as technical as the other songs, so I could see why you would think that it kind of should belong on Kill 'Em All, on Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Kill 'Em All. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
called Kill 'Em All. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Never mind.
Eat them all.
But I do. But like I
You
said,
gotta catch them all. Sorry. Catch them all. Instead of the hand, it's like a Pokemon and he's dead. Like on the floor.
Just
Catch
an
them all.
axe next to him or some shit.
There's an axe and like a dead Pokemon on the
They're
floor.
just all full of blood.
Sorry.
PETA would hate us. But I do feel like this is. I do feel like I said, the production I feel just starts getting iffy now because the bass really isn't as prominent as it was in like the last 4 songs. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, this song. I mean, if you love thrash metal, you love this song.
This
It's
song is
easy to say.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
let's move
and I guess
on
that brings us.
to Escape, our favorite song on the album.
Yeah, no thanks.
I actually love this song, and I know you guys hate it, but I don't care. It's
What do
fucking
you
good.
love most about it, John?
The fucking odd time. Just the intro riff is kind of like whatever, you know. But when the song goes in and there's this riff and it's like off timing or something, you know. Dun, 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 dun. And also I love the ending, and there's with all of the like
Yeah, with the
sounds
sirens.
and everything.
Yeah, the
Dude,
sirens at the end.
that got me.
Yeah, that part was
gets me
cool.
pumped up. Like as the song fades and there's these like horns and shit going, so good. But I understand it's a fucking filler song. Like it's totally like fucking, like they just needed to write something to put
This
on
is
the
the
album,
last
and this
song,
is what it
yeah.
sounds like.
This is the last song that
This-
they recorded to put on the album, and it is a filler
Okay.
song. They
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay,
they came
there we
out
go.
to say, like, when
Yeah.
we need one more song, like then
Yeah.
they recorded.
It
the
sounds
song
like it.
and
Yeah.
that's what it was. And they hate playing this song live. By the way, they absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
They played it once, and James was like making a joke out of it. He's like, "Time for everybody's favorite song."
Oh my god. Yeah, because it's not a great song. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just not much going on in it. It sounds a bit half-assed.
Yeah, they played it once and then they never played it again. But go, Justin. I see you want to say something.
I'm like, I just because I'm gonna let out the hate. No, it's just because you said like all the odd time signatures. To me, like I don't notice that. It's only I only really notice odd time signatures when it's prog rock and prog metal bands. But this, like, to me, it just I felt like the riff really wasn't. This is another case of of Sad Wings of Destiny. What was the song after Tyrant again? What was it called?
Here, let me check. After
Yeah.
Tyrant, Sad Wings of
Dun
Destiny.
dun 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 dun, dun. Mercenary battalion.
Genocide. I feel like this is the genocide of the album.
It is. Yeah.
Because like, dude, like to me, this riff just sounds like what every single thrash band has ever done. I thought the riff was very generic, and I'd hate to see people like act like this is such a not that you said like it was the most genius riff of all time, but anyone that says that thinks it's the most genius riff of all time.
Like, I'm not talking about the opening riff. That's fucking garbage. I'm talking about the. It's like a bit after that.
Yeah, the building part. Yeah.
Because I just thought it was really generic, and I was like, any other thrash band, they would have thought this was. They would think that this was just a generic riff, and I don't want people to say, "What's Metallica?" and they were the first ones to do it. It's like either way, dude. It's not an interesting riff, and I find James really, to me, the vocals are the worst part of this album. I feel like he didn't home.
I love it.
God, dude, I feel like he didn't home in a lot. Kind of like Rob on Sad Wings, where you can see the talent, you can see where it is. It's just it's not at the level where it could be until their next album and their later discography. His voice to me really sounds the best on And Justice and the Black album. But I found the vocals, like as soon as I heard him, I just kind of groaned and I was like, I couldn't wait for the song to be over. The chorus was catchy. The chorus was really catchy and singy. I love that.
Yeah, I thought that part was kind of like one of the weaker parts of the song. The life's my da da, live my own way. It's such like a shitty melody for me. When I hear it, I'm just like, oh
It
fuck.
sounds like a glam band would come out with like it
Yeah.
sounded too sugary, but I
Yeah.
think because it sounded a little sugary, it did sound very catchy.
Yeah.
And this I couldn't tell you like the bass to me is just I can't even think about it.
The bass, again, you have to go looking for it. Like, it's there, but it's
Mm.
not like, where is it? Oh, there it is. Like, you have to find it in your ear somewhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, but that song, the life's are my own, to live my own way, with the sirens in the back, like at the outro is probably the best part of the song when he's singing that line over
Yeah.
and over again, and
Yeah.
then you have the sirens, and
Yeah.
then it leads into, I feel like, the best song on the album, which
It
is
creeps
think
in.
so.
it creeps in.
Creeps in. Creeping death.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
is
think this.
the
Yeah,
best song on the album.
this is a
Like,
fucking. This is such a killer track. It's
yeah.
just. Oh my
Like,
I
god.
to
don't
me,
remember which
there's
one
no
was that.
flaws.
James could be replaced with someone else, and I'd be okay with it because I thought the riff was fucking killer. Lars does another
Wait,
steady
What are you talking about? Yeah.
creeping death.
Yeah,
Okay.
like which song?
Creep.
Wait, you want to replace James?
No, like that song. I feel like if you got another singer for that, I feel like I'd like that song even more because I like the riff a
Oh my
lot,
god, I
and
can't believe you just said this.
you know what?
What the fuck? Excuse
No, I said for
me?
this
I'm kidding,
song.
don't.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys, listen. No, I said for this
man.
song.
You gotta take that back, bro.
Okay, well, you know what, guys? I'm gonna leave.
Yo, man's just left.
You fucking left.
Who's supposed to replace James?
Oh
Like
my
fucking
God.
Jeff Tate?
I don't know. Who's supposed to replace James, bro?
I'm right. I did leave.
Wait. Who? If you could choose one singer
Oh my God.
to replace James on the song, who would it be? From this era, though, so you can't
Yeah.
choose somebody that came out like.
No, obviously not. I feel it'd have to be someone with a bit more bark to it. So I want to think.
Like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't. Jamone. I want to say I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but the singer of Sodom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He plays bass too, right? That guy.
Yeah, because it's a
Okay.
trio. He plays bass and he does. I feel like if I'm not saying replace James, you guys fucking took that so out
Bro,
of.
you literally it
You
came out of your
literally
mouth.
Bro, we have
Dude,
recorded. I'm
I
gonna
said
clip
on
it and
this
then send it to you. Like,
Oh my fuck! I said on this song, I said that I'm talking about Creeping Death. I'm not talking about.
okay, go.
Oh
We
my fucking
overreacted.
God.
Let's restart. Okay, go.
We're gonna blackmail you.
James could be replaced with someone else, and I'd be okay with it.
We're gonna blackmail you.
Okay,
You're gonna send
what
like
you wanna say.
decapitated pigs to my doorstep with threats on it.
Decapitated pigs.
Because I thought the riff was really killer. Lars he stays steady. I feel like he does. I feel like on this album he doesn't disappoint. I feel like
Yeah.
he's on point every time. I don't think it's the most technical drumming, but he does show so much. He does show much. Holy shit, man! I got like a rodent in my mouth, like scurrying.
All right.
He shows so much, not virtuosity, but so much talent that I think would improve later on. But he is definitely a highlight. And like I said, the riff was cool, but I feel like the vocals were just, as soon as I heard him, it was another case of, oh boy. And I feel like the singer of Sodom, I feel like he would probably be a more perfect match for this song. I like the solo a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a great lead. What do you think of the part in the song where it goes "Die by my hand"?
No, no, no.
Was
Like
that
at
wasn't
like
the
that
chorus,
halfway
was
point
it?
or so. No, it's
No.
it's kind of like
That's
the second part of the song, I guess.
yeah, like the drum part,
It's
like
like
on the bongo part, if you will. The tom where
yeah, I want to say a lot of the drums on this album. I mean, that's an issue for after, but yeah,
yeah,
the drums are a bit
yeah,
off.
Do
yeah,
you find that's because of the performances or
No,
how
no,
they're
it's
tuned?
just the way it was recorded.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it's
I
more
think
production wise, like the drums on Creeping Death, especially that part. Like it's a bit like murky, is the
yeah,
best way I can describe it. And like when you compare this versus the live version of Creeping Death, like you can hear, oh, okay, that's what he's playing, and it's a bit more simplified the live
mm,
version. But I feel like the live version of this section in particular might actually be better than the studio version of the way it was
nice.
recorded.
Yeah,
the production, I feel like the guitars sound full, but the bass and the drums, production wise, not even performance, production wise, I feel like that's where it could improve for sure. And I feel like that goes for almost all the songs.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Diego, what's your favorite part about Creeping Death?
Well, definitely the part where everybody's chanting "die." That
That
part,
that part was
yeah. I
like
cool.
mean, it's
especially
fucking
live. When
killer.
if you go to a live concert and they're playing Creeping Death,
The
everybody,
whole crowd.
dude, it's you
Yeah,
can't recreate that experience anywhere else. It's magical. That like you get fucking goosebumps and you're just like screaming at the top of your lungs, "Die, die," and you got it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys
I
have any
I
other notes?
read
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw this interview with um I forget who the one of the guitar players wrote the fucking riff
Yeah, Kirk wrote that riff. Yeah.
yeah, it was Kirk, and he said he wrote it in his old band
Yeah, he wrote it when
was
he was like,
Exodus.
he said that,
Exodus, yeah,
yeah,
true.
he wrote it when he was like
Oh
12
no,
or
not an
13.
Exodus. Yeah,
That he said he had that
yeah.
riff for a long
I
time,
mean that's cool, eh?
and he's like, yo, I have to use this riff in a song, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Can you imagine like you're keeping that riff for like 6 7 years,
yeah,
and it's just like always in the back of your mind. You're
like
like, yeah, I have this riff,
like it's good.
but
Like
it's like
yeah,
the riff, the creeping death. It's like the best part of the song.
yeah,
So that's really cool, man.
yeah.
God bless you, Kirk.
Thank
He's
you, man, for
I know.
the magic.
I feel I feel like because Metallica did become more melodic. This like we were saying. What John said in the Megadeth review was that Dave's playing is a lot more raw, and since they
yeah,
were stepping into more melodic territory, I feel like Kirk at this point is show he's a better fit because
yeah,
he does know when to play more
yeah.
melodic parts when it's called for.
Like his work, like each lead he does, I feel like from the first album until like the first four, they just like he thinks about. It's almost like every lead it begins to have like an intro part, a middle part, and then an end part. And it's like you could hear that happening here, where like you could tell that he takes time in terms of like each note or something, right? And it's not like the last album they did. I thought his leads were good, but he admitted that he came like because he didn't write a lot of the things to the album, and I read that he just like sat down and he like heard the part that he had to lead on, and then he just like did something that to just kind of like half-assed it and stuff, which
Ge-
isn't like how it used to be, where it takes his
generally,
time.
generally though, I feel like his soloing doesn't just sound like mindless shredding. I feel like
No,
it
no, no,
does
no.
it does have structure, which
Yeah.
which I like a lot, and he does put a lot of soul into it. Hey,
But
you guys got any other notes for? Oh, sorry.
no, sorry, just to add on to that, I feel like
Yeah.
after the fourth album, his leads for me start to kind of like bleh, and then by like after like there's one album where there aren't like one lead on it. On Saint
Saint
Anger,
Anger.
I think there's like right.
Thank
So
God we
that
didn't have
is
to
like
listen to that.
a downhill thing after the fourth album. I think in terms of his lead work, it's just like not
Yeah.
like there wasn't much going on and stuff.
Metallica, I think everyone can admit Metallica's prime, like some of their best material was their 80s.
Yeah,
So that's why it's gonna be hard to top your prime, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, yeah.
It
Uh,
really is. Let's wrap it up with the last song on the album.
The
this
call
calls
Calls of
for the
Cthulhu.
call.
Call.
This part to me was one of the. I couldn't wait for this part to be over. It wasn't as
Yeah,
cool
I'm
as
not
when
a
I
fan of
first
this
thought.
piece.
Like,
Really?
yeah,
I
I've
think
seen
they
people
mastered the instrumental on the next album. This one sounds a
on
bit like
Orion.
they're
Yeah,
like yeah, they're
dude, I've seen when you look at lists of like the best instrumental songs, I always see either Orion or Call of Cthulhu, mainly Call of Cthulhu, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like the beginning riff, there's some momentum and I like it, and it's just to me, it just drags on so long. And I feel like maybe
that soft part, eh? The and then it keeps going up and up. That part, I feel that's too long. I feel like they could have
that
just fixed that.
but I feel like at the 5 minute mark, one thing I forgot to say is that most of these songs, um, the length of the songs, it doesn't ever feel like no matter what length it is, it doesn't ever feel like it's getting too long or it's too short. It feels perfect. This is the one song where I feel like at the 5 minute mark, it really could have ended with like a 30-second outro because I felt like at first,
Mm.
like I said, the riffs had momentum. You hear the bass a bit better, but then it kind of just drags on, and it's like I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, okay, man, it's. I feel like the solo was all right, but I feel like this really isn't like to me this isn't one of the best instrumentals of all time that a lot of people say it is. To me,
Yeah.
it was boring
For me, I'm gonna have to slightly disagree. I
slightly.
feel, yeah, uh, the S&M version of this song with the symphony
Mm-hmm.
is really good. That's
Yeah, it must
Mm-hmm.
sound
it's
epic because of the extra instrumentation there.
and this song played live with those instruments. It's really good. It's
Yeah.
like
But
it's it's an experience, John. I can hear myself on your end,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you like can go on mute
Should
exactly.
I lower?
Just click mute when I talk.
Okay.
I feel like that should fix it. There you go.
yeah, shut up,
Uh,
John.
no, no, because I can hear the echo and like it's annoying when I can't freaking connect the dots. Anyways, but this song, the S&M version, I feel like is better because there's the added instruments and the live aspect. It just like because that was their opening track, especially on S&M 2 that just came out. Like this is the track that they open up with, is called Cthulhu, and then on S&M 1 they transition into Master of Puppets, and that's like really cool because you're announcing, you're like, okay, this is the symphony of Metallica, and like it's really good. And I feel like this song I would put, like, if I had to rank each instrumental track by Metallica, I would put this at like, it's a tie between this song and Orion for me at number one, because like this song was one of the first songs I learned how to like drum to.
Yeah.
It was Enter Sandman, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna challenge myself and learn how to play Cthulhu. Don't ask why or how the hell I did that, but I did. So
you you
yes,
have you you have compared quite a few of the songs to like the live versions. In that case, do you feel like Metallica is better live than they are
absolutely,
studio?
absolutely, hands
Absolutely.
down.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hands down.
And
They're better live, especially in their primes. Uh, in the 80s and the 90s, like if you watch like live shit, the Binge and Purge or whatever, like that album, like like that's like their live peak Metallica performance. Like you're not gonna get any better than that. And going back to like the ranking of each instrumental, I'd tie Cthulhu and Orion number one. Then I'd put Suicide and Redemption number three, and then To Live Is to Die at the bottom. That's a bit controversial. I'm biased with the Suicide and Redemption because of the drum break at the end, and he fucking goes crazy. But the live version to that song, he just fucking does snare rolls the whole time, and
Dude,
it's
his
like,
skill
oh
went
fuck,
Fucking
down.
what are you
fail.
doing? Yeah.
I have a question for John, because what do you think would
Yeah.
have made this song way better?
Maybe if they just expanded on it, or I don't like. I think it's okay for what it is, but I feel like maybe if I wouldn't mind an alternate thing if they just erased this song and wrote another song that was like 5-6 minutes long or something like that. Because I feel like as an instrumental, it used to hold up when I first heard it, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's okay,
Same thing.
right?
You
It's
know
not
what it
like
is?
amazing. But wait, I had a question about you, and do you think if you didn't hear the version they did with like
Symphony.
the huge band and everything, would you would you still enjoy the song the same way without it, or
Probably. Yeah,
do you enjoy it more with like the full piece band and
when
the
I go listen to this song, I listen to it with the symphony personally.
okay, yeah,
I
yeah,
That's how, because it adds a lot of stuff to it, and Lars's fills, because that was in '99. I listened to the S&M one version that
yeah,
was recorded in '99, and that, like, these fills they're a bit all over the place, but I feel like it
yeah, Lars,
made me
that's fine.
learn like those
Yeah.
fills and how to be like, okay, how to incorporate fills in a song, especially in an instrumental, because there's no lyrics to follow,
Yeah,
there's no singer to follow, it's you doing it. And I feel like maybe that's why I like the song so much, because I can relate to it in that way and have a strong emotional connection to it, with learning how to play it on drums. But yeah, I feel like that song, I can listen to it over and over again with the symphony. Listening to it on this album, I was like, it's a bit lackluster. I can agree with you on that, and for the reason that there's something missing there. And every time I go listen back to this version in particular, it feels empty because there's no. I'm used to hearing it with the clarinets and the violins and all that stuff.
yeah.
So
And
I
record. I'm gonna send that to James Hetfield and say that you insulted a good instrument. No.
all right, I'm
I
looking.
read they were working on this song during the first album with fucking what's his I just forgot his name. The
Dave.
Dave.
fuck, yeah.
Breakfart.
Dave Mustaine.
Dave
So
Mustard
I mean
Seed.
that's kind of cool though.
I
Yeah.
That's
feel like I feel like it could have, because like you said, the S&M version is like way more grand because of all the
Yeah.
extra textures and instrumentation. I feel like if you're gonna make an instrumental, for me it has to be engaging all the way, because the vocals kind of, there's like no chorus where there could be a catchy part. So the instrument, that's all the pressure on the instrumentation. I feel like I might have been more engaged if, since this is the last song and it is called Cthulhu, which is like like the big H.P. Lovecraft monster. I felt like this should have been ginormous. This should have been monstrous. This should have sounded like chaos. And to me, it just
That's
kind
why
of,
the song's 9 minutes.
yeah. But that's the thing, though. It's like,
yeah,
you
fuck.
know,
It's fucking that long.
it's
Jesus.
monstrous
I didn't
in
even
length,
think of
but
that.
I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like Godzilla just destroying, or Cthulhu itself destroying a
Yeah.
city. It sounds like a tiger on a rampage that killed maybe one person and injured two. That's
I would have preferred it if they didn't like, let's say they didn't write this song and they wrote two songs that were just fast as fuck. That kind of sounded like the album that they
like
already did.
Metal Militia.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if they did two of those or something, maybe it would have worked a bit better for them, because I don't think they had. I mean, I think it's an all right song, but I think um they didn't. I mean, you could also see it in like, okay, here's one side I'll take. Maybe if they didn't write this song, they wouldn't have the ability to write the instrumental that they did on the album after. So there's one way to kind of see it too. But
there's also a few annoying points. I listened to like the Spotify remastered version, where it sounds like as the riff is beginning to play, in the very beginning, you hear a loud buzz on the guitar. Did you guys hear any of that? I heard on the version I was listening to. I thought it was just like something with the headset, but then I rewinded it like five times, and I did it without the Bluetooth on the speakers. I'm like, okay, this is actually part of it. Where there's just the guitars sound like there's just this like loud distortion on effect that goes for like half a second, and it's just kind of like you didn't really go anywhere with that. And they did it like I think 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, if you're not gonna fucking put any good use to it, don't add it. It just sounds like a
You have to
blemish.
point that out to me because I don't know which like afterwards, so I can add it in afterwards because I don't know what you're talking about with the bish. Like there's the
yeah,
heavy bass distortion parts, uh, like in the beginning in the intros. Like the bass solos by Cliff in this song are really good. I have to say that
yeah,
because
Hmm.
I feel like they're some of his best work on this album. Definitely that.
I
But
feel like this is when the bass comes back in.
yeah, this is one. So let's. Do you guys want to wrap it up? Give final thoughts on the whole album?
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I feel like we covered almost every.
Yeah,
I said everything I want to say about this album.
Oh yeah, same here,
yeah, me
same
too.
here.
So let's
Not much
let's
else
give
to
our
add.
final thoughts, and then we'll give a score out of 10, and then we'll play a song. If you're a viewer in the chat, there's like a poll extension that you can vote on of what's your favorite song. So vote for your favorite song in the poll, and we'll play it, uh, and then we'll move on to another topic. So let's give final thoughts, Justin.
All right. Final thoughts. Not enough Fred Durst features. I was holding that in for a good few minutes. I feel I feel like this is kind of like Sad Wings of Destiny. I compared it quite a bit because I do feel like what like kind of like what John said, where their Judas Priest's first album was there, and then Sad Wings is when they're building up to that potential, and then their later albums is where it really shows their best capability. Kill 'Em All, not that it was generic. I mean, it was like the first one. It was probably the first thrash album, so it's a special album. But there's nothing technically all too amazing. Then
Yeah,
you go to Ride the Lightning, shows a lot of melody, a lot of the shit that they would incorporate. And I feel like I said before, this is the building blocks to to the building blocks of potential that they would show on their next 2 albums, where they really expanded
yeah,
on like John said, that more riffs, that they showcase this, they showcase that aspect on this album. But on Master and Justice, they show more riffs being added, more complexity. And I think this is when James hones in his vocals a lot, mixing harsher vocals and melodic soft ones. Not that he's like, like Ariana Grande soft, but I feel like he does hone that better. And the melodies, they sound more dynamic.
yeah.
But it's not by any means a horrible album. Just definitely my least favorite out of their 80s album. That's what I have to say. What about you guys?
Go ahead, John.
I mean, it's for me, it's a good album, iconic. It gets a gold star for sure. Um, my only problem with it, except for like the little shits I had with some of the songs, I mean, I think they're fine, and like I enjoy the album a lot. I mean, it's like fun, and the fucking lead work on it is amazing. Like, holy
Mm-hmm.
shit. So a lot of the hooks are good. okay, Lars's drums. What the fuck is going on with this reverb on the toms? It sounds like a fucking
Yeah.
bongo. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what the fuck that is. I think it suits the aesthetic of the album in a very weird way. But if I had to nitpick it, I mean, that's like a weird thing that they would choose. When I feel like the drums on the first album kind of like they sounded really good. I mean, like so for them to kind of do to like they went in the studio and they chose to
Yeah.
incorporate and they're like, okay, it's fucking 1984, man. Shit's going crazy. Fucking technology and shit. Okay, we want the most high tech fucking fucked up drums ever. Like,
Why?
I don't know if they thought that the drum sounded like really good and high tech or something. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
why?
But
Why
it
was it that
doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. The
every
drums don't
thrash
hold
band
up.
used
But
every thrash band used a lot of reverb. Hell Awaits, this
yeah,
album, Morbid Visions by Sepultura, and like I don't know why they thought all adding all that reverb was a good idea, but there's too much of a good
here's
thing.
why. All of the 80s bands thought that if you added that, it made the band sound huge. It doesn't make the band sound huge. It makes the band sound fucking far away.
Yeah.
It doesn't like it doesn't.
It's just not good. Yeah.
It's so
Too much
stupid.
of one thing is never good. So
Yeah, no way.
It's like chocolate. As good as it is, you can't have it all the time. You
no,
gotta
no, yeah.
mix it up.
But
Don't
And
put
what
it up
about
your
you,
butt.
Diego?
before I go, what did you guys give it out of 10?
Eight,
Like Jean, 8.
eight
What
on
were your
10.
favorites? 3 favorite songs, 1 least favorite.
Three favorite songs. I'm okay. Bear with me on this, but it's fine. I mean, I don't care because
Yeah.
you guys are just gonna fucking hate me. But okay.
Well, you guys went hard on me for Creeping Death, and you guys, okay, so don't worry.
Number 3, Escape. Number 2, Creeping Death. Number 1, Fight Fire with Fire. And my least favorite, the instrumental track, cause it just drags on for me, and I'm like, if a song is gonna make you wait until if a song makes you think like, fuck, when is this song gonna end?
Yeah.
No, you know, it it doesn't make the cut for me.
Just to add on to that, they do that again in the Outlaw Torn on Load, where they have the lyric part, and then the last like 3-4 minutes of the song is just like a slow build up,
Yeah,
and it's like the
Love
same riff over and over again. And for me, I'm a fan of that. Like I like that, but I can see why people would like. Okay, this is dragging. Like okay, like you're just
yeah.
going for time here because the album's short or whatever. But to me, like
What a load of bullshit.
yeah, to me, I'm a fan of that. So yeah. Anyways, okay, go
All
Justin.
right. But do you want to say your thing
No, no, no.
first?
I'm
Or?
I'm like stepping over my boundaries. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
just give your thing out of 10. Yeah.
All right. I do see a lot of the potential, and there's some really great ideas, but I feel like a lot of the blemishes hinder me it from. I used to think this album was really great. Now I'm just thinking it's kind of meh. Um, it's like a 6. I'm
Get
probably
the
gonna
fuck
give
out.
it.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay, bye guys.
I see.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I see the potential, and I see they mastered it on the next 2 albums.
Yeah.
This to me is kind of like Sad Wings of Destiny. This is the Sad Wings of Destiny for Metallica, where you see the potential and where they're going with it, but it's just not executed the best. And I gave Sad Wings a 5.5 out of 10. I'm giving this zero point 0.5 higher just because I do like more of the ferocity. Um, Best songs. I have to fucking look at the songs. Ride the Lightning, Fight Fire with Fire, and my favorite was Trapped Under Ice. I love the speed on that. My least favorite, I have to see again. Dude, it's between Escape or Fade to Black. I think I think it might be Fade to Black. Like legit, that was the song where I was
Shit,
like,
no.
I couldn't. I was like, bro, just please just go try to Trapped Under Ice. Escape, I thought was just like I just tuned my brain off and I was like, this is just whatever. But Fade to Black, it's
Oh,
the
it's a
fact
fun
that
song though. Come on.
but Fade to Black, I remembered every detail and I wish I didn't.
That's so that's so mean.
I know.
You want to know? That's such a fucking insane opinion to have.
Dude,
Like,
it's one of
that's
their
just
best.
insane.
Everyone says it's like one of their best, and I'm just like, what
Fade
the
to
fuck
Black,
are you saying?
like, there's like millions of people like love
That
that song. I'm
yo,
sure. I'm sure millions of people.
People that
Gonna
listen to
piss
that, they're
people
gonna be
off.
like, saying this song sucks is like saying Nothing Else Matters sucks because it's slow.
I hate that song too. So there you go.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, my mom
So
says that's her
corny.
favorite Metallica song. I'm like, Mom, you've never heard Metal Militia. That's
Yeah.
not talking.
That's like
not
the
about it.
mainstream song on this album, right? That like, I
Oh,
guess,
yeah.
After the 80s, I can't really
Yeah.
listen to Metallica. That's the thing.
For me, out of 10, I give this song, after calculating all my averages, I gave it a nice.
It's always
Good
funny
guess.
when you say that, like you're like a scientist. According to my calculations, this
Yeah,
album
I'm gonna do
Ride
that
the
every
Lightning
time.
must be.
I'm doing that every time.
molecules.
Molecule.
Molecules.
Molecules.
Okay, what do you guys think what do you think I gave it out of
Say,
10?
I
You gave
think
it an 8 for sure.
like an 8.24.
Oh,
8.24.
very close. 8.1875 out of 10.
All right, not bad.
So if you round it up,
John was close.
if you round it up, 8.2. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
But you like to get very specific with that.
Yeah, but I calculate my averages. Yeah, I rank each song out of 10, and then that's it. But for me, my
What was your lowest ranking
my lowest?
song?
I
Mhm.
gave a 7 to Escape and Ice. So that's a double.
Okay.
That was that was the lowest, and the highest I went to 10 on Creep, and that was it. So my
Wow,
three
fuck yeah.
my three
Yeah.
favorite songs, Creep, Bellz, and Ktulu, are definitely my top 3. And then my least-
Ktulu, the one that me and John just fucking
Yeah, I know,
shot
we
on,
fucking ripped it.
defecated.
we all have our opinions. We can disagree, but hey, man, we can still be friends, right?
No,
No,
get out.
I'm leaving.
I'm
Just-
leaving. All right, I'm gonna log off again.
we should do one show where we talk for like 5 minutes and then we all just leave. And it's like keep the fucking live stream.
Just keep it going.
We just went a whole 24 hours, and we come back.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Share stream. But yeah,
Right,
my
but yeah.
least favorite, Escape, definitely. But
Filler.
Yeah, it's a filler. So with that, that's been the hammer. We've nailed, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for fast rounds.
Oh, fast rounds.
Fast rounds.
All right, if you could rewrite a record, what would it be? Who wants to start? Because this is a tough one. This is a tough question.
If I have to think about it.
I was gonna
Saint
say
Anger.
maybe
Saint Anger.
Ah, good one.
Saint Anger,
Yes.
hands down.
Yeah, you would re-record Saint Anger?
Re-record Saint Anger. Or
It's a
rewrite-
good record, though.
Or rewrite Lulu without Lou Reed.
Because I was thinking more of the question.
That was a bad
Yeah,
decision.
I was gonna. So which one are you doing? Saint Anger or Lulu? Two of their shittest albums.
Lulu. Because to be honest, I've never listened to Lulu. I've only listened to I Am the Table for
Yo,
the
guys.
name, and that's it.
6
gotta review
balls,
that
3
next.
minds must ascend.
Okay, Justin, go. Fast rounds.
I was thinking at first maybe just like whatever would make me the most money. So I was gonna say I'm gonna re-record Thriller by Michael Jackson.
If it's for that reason,
Money.
then I'm gonna have to go with I don't know, like Led Zeppelin thing. If I could just make a shit ton of money off of it, sure. If I could, like, if you could just put your name on a fucking record, sure.
Yeah, I think that's more the question I was aiming for. If
Oh,
you could
okay,
just slap
then,
your
yeah.
name.
Yeah,
But
it would
I
be
mean,
Led
if I,
Zeppelin 4 for sure.
but now we're saying it like this. If I had to pick one album, it'd have to be something huge, influential, and since I always listen to extreme music, I think I would try to re-record a better version of Scum by Napalm Death.
That's a
Because
weird album. Like the two sides don't even sound.
dude, I think it's
the same.
I think it's almost two separate bands. Like
Yeah.
the first half has Justin Broderick from Godflesh. Bless you, Diego.
Bless you.
It has Justin Broderick of Godflesh and two other guys.
Yeah.
One of the guy, Bill Steer from Carcass. In the second half,
Wow.
it's there's a bit of a lineup change, and it's just on the B sides, it's all like less than almost all the songs are less than a minute, and
Yeah.
on A side, it's like 2 minutes rounding. Strange album, but I would do it so that the production was a bit better. But I feel like that's the essence of grind. What about
Yeah.
you, John? Oh, you said Led Zeppelin 4, right?
Yeah. Wait, but if it's for rewriting and reworking the way it sounds, I would probably choose Ride. Uh, too much reverb on it. I feel like it could be easily fixed or something. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, for money reasons, uh,
Thriller by Michael Jackson. Like, come
yeah,
on.
like either
Thriller.
that or like I don't know, like a classic thing like that. Yeah, like I'm the first thing that my head's like Frank Sinatra, but I'm like, bro, nobody listens to freaking Frank Sinatra anymore. Why am I thinking
Yeah.
that? But whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was aiming more for the money reasons, but you guys turned it way into a better thing of rewrites. So
Okay.
I
Let's
commend you guys.
So let's talk about the TikTok thing finally. We have like about 15 minutes, so we can do that.
All right.
TikTok, where humor and lots of daddy issues are combined into a single app.
Daddy issues.
Humor and daddy issues just colliding.
So what was it exactly about TikTok that you something about it how it's related to MTV?
Yeah, I feel like TikTok is the new MTV because it has the potential to launch songs, right? That's how everybody's listening to
Yeah.
the new music nowadays, right? Hang on, I just need to get rid of Ride the Lightning because we're not talking about that anymore. There we go. So,
There's a lot of TikTok songs that I only know from TikTok and because I've heard it from TikTok, but like
Yeah.
there's that Sugar Crash song that I know about. There's that uh, Astronaut in the Ocean that I heard. The Big Prr I've heard mainly from TikTok, and the amount of people that reuse those snippets to make their own videos. If you put a compilation of it, it's insane of how many people just become aware of the song because thank
Yeah.
God thank God, fuck social media, but but thanks to social media, you can spread around media and whatever ideas and opinions you have. And I feel like because of that, it's no longer the radio is dead now because on the internet we kind of all have this there's no more kind of like niches. It's not like you're outside of the box. It's really we all have our own separate boxes. So
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
box to be outside of because everyone is almost outside of the box. Um, and it's really the users that now get to decide on culture. And I feel like if we're talking about MTV in the 90s, especially, I felt like MTV in the 90s, from what I saw, a lot of the rock music that they played and even metal, I feel like they were really in tune, and especially with like what with how the culture was shifting and how music was being represented, and they showed the right faces of music. And now, even though I hate a lot of music from now, especially what this generation likes, I feel like now it's a lot of the users have the power of what to make things big. And yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Like that's why I paused. I was like, "What the fuck?"
how did I get here?
Yeah,
I
but
kind of like that idea, though. It's true. We could live in our own world in terms of what we want to hear and like what
there's
bands we
no
want
more
to hear.
outsiders now.
Thank
I mean,
God. If I was forced to listen to Shom, I'd be dead already.
Terry
I mean,
DeMonte,
it's
fuck you.
simple as that. It's simple as that. There's
Oh my
there's no
god.
fucking way.
Yeah, but I feel like because the kids today, right? That's how they discover all the new music. And I feel like for rock to be mainstream again, like it has to come from that. Like there has to be like a meme or something. Like you saw
Yeah.
with Fleetwood Mac, right? With that same
Cranberry guy.
cranberry juice guy, whatever.
So
It's
there
like,
you go again. You say.
yeah, literally everybody and their mother was doing that trend on the
Yeah.
skateboard. You had freaking Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon doing it. Even the Fleetwood Mac dude, I don't listen to Fleetwood Mac, so I don't fucking know. But
Mick Fleetwood. I think
yeah,
it was Mick Fleetwood or something.
even the guy, like
Yeah. Yeah.
he did it too. Like he acknowledged
Yeah.
that like this is a trend, and
Yeah.
like the song just went up on the charts again, and it
Yeah.
revitalized it.
I
And
mean, it's a fucking great tune. That I mean,
yeah,
But that's what a song from like quite a few decades ago, and it really shows how now the users are in control. And this song that I'm sure hasn't been on the charts for a while, it just because of these kids on the internet, it just what should I call it? It just revived it, but it did bring a lot of it. It did bring it to the attention of a lot of people
yeah.
because of trends. There's a big thing I have with TikTok though, and I feel like and how it could relate to MTV too, especially during the '80s where there was the glam metal shit and that shit was overplayed.
That's
I feel like
horrible.
TikTok it really
Like bad
is.
music.
Now I feel like it's a lot of the music I hear from there. It's kind of just like what's the best way to put it? It's kind of just I'm gonna make a song for the sole purpose of going big. There's no I feel
Ah,
like it removes a lot of the artistry and like I want to make a creative song. It's
yeah.
just what can I do to make this song big? It's very cookie cutter and it's just I'm throwing it out there and I feel like a lot there's not a lot of it brings attention to a lot of people that they're going to be one hit wonders and you know it and that you're never going to hear from these losers ever again and I feel like now it's kind of removing creativity and showing spotlight on a lot of talented people like that big purr song I that's the thing too is that because you're playing a snippet people only play that snippet and I feel like a lot of the crowd on TikTok not I don't want to say they're more of the basic crowd but I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
yeah I guess that they
There's an
wouldn't
alt side to TikTok too. Like, there's a whole like alty side where a lot of the people are, I guess, a bit like us more, and they're a bit more aware about like like fucking all these not underground bands, but things that aren't like
I feel they dive deeper
mainstream.
in.
And stuff.
there's like different like
Yeah,
clicks, right? And on your For
yeah,
You page, that's what you see. You see what click
yeah.
you're part of. And
That's it.
like if you're just doing Twitch streamer shit, like that's all you're gonna see on. If you're just liking
Yeah.
Twitch, you're just gonna see Twitch stuff, right? If you're liking just metal stuff, well, that's what you're gonna see. So it's
It's kind of like what I said before. There's no more of the outsider. We're all in
Yeah.
our own bubbles
Yeah.
now.
like
But if
But
a
I
song
feel,
explodes, right, and then all the kids are trying to do the dance, it's like a free advertisement for every fucking
it
TikTok
is.
that's made. So there's bound to be a group of people that by just hearing 1/10 of the song are gonna like what they hear and then go on YouTube and then try to figure out
yeah,
like
what the
who.
full song is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's good for that, but I don't know how good the actual songs are or anything
Yeah.
because they all sound like shit to me. It's either that or it's an indie band and they dress cool and they fucking their songs all sound the same fucking vibe, same effects, and it just sounds like fucking trash.
Yeah.
That's all I
Because
see. It's just those two sides.
the way I was kind of more putting it was like people that use like kind of like the more basic side to TikTok, people who like Drake and like very basic fucking things. I feel like when they play that snippet, they're just gonna. I think that's one thing about the internet too is that attention spans like there are studies that have showed that attention spans have gone down where everything just needs to be fast paced. That's a lot of the big things a lot of a lot of a lot of bands nowadays, it's kind of like either you put out, not bands, but music in general, a lot of artists, either you put out music consistently and not at your own pace, or else you're just going to be crashing to you're going to be
Yeah.
irrelevant, which I know some of the bigger artists like Frank Ocean and Kendrick Lamar, they're taking their time and people are still talking about them crazy. But a lot of these new people, new bands and new singers, it's either you release projects fucking often or
Oh,
people are going to forget about you. And I feel like people only play a lot of the basic crowd, they play that snippet and then they just move on and they forget about the song itself. And I feel like TikTok being somewhat of that MTV type of platform,
yeah.
they showcase whatever that song is. But now because the user is in control, I feel at times it is it's easier. The more people use that snippet, that song could explode. But I feel like the loyalty might not be there as much as like when me or you, we go support underground bands at like fucking venues, or even if no
Yeah.
one's heard it, we do show some form of loyalty. I feel
Yeah.
like not a lot of people do that nowadays. It's very cookie cutter. It has to be. It's like fast food music.
Yeah. This goes back to how a band back in the day, I'm talking like mid 60s, late 60s, and a bit after that, they were all they did is you would write, record, go on the road, come back home, you fucking
Every
write,
year was
record,
a
you're
new
doing 2
album.
records a year. Some bands are doing 3 albums a year, and this went on for maybe like 8 or 9 years during the late 60s until the mid 70s or something, and then bands did 1 album a year or one every 2 years and stuff like that. But they did it because it's like the small fan base you have, it's like, here's one record, okay, 6 months later, okay, here's one more, and it's just like, it's to keep them in the public eye. And I think it works the same way, in terms of how a lot of people will like use a song or like self market their song online. And plus, a lot of these underground people that write songs that are on the app, it's almost like they don't make an album, they make a song.
They make
It's like, okay,
singles.
guys, here's my single, and then like maybe 6 months later, okay, guys, here's my new fucking single. It sounds like shit. Okay, guys, here's my new single. It sounds like even more fucking trash.
Diego, what do you feel about like because of the internet and everything has to be so fast paced? Like Diego, what do you think that does to the quality of the music nowadays? Like, what have you noticed from it?
Um, I feel like because people's attention spans are so short, like if you give somebody, oh, can you listen to Call of Cthulhu? Nobody's gonna fucking
Yeah,
listen to
okay.
that shit. Like it's 9 minutes long. Like oh my god, everybody has like okay, if the song, if the singer doesn't sing within the first 5 seconds of the song, it's not good. Or if the song's not 3-4 minutes long, it's not good. Like
Yeah, anything
it's
plus 3 minutes is too long
yeah,
to
it's
them
too
now.
long, and it's like okay, well that's the main street. And like for people who are musicians, they're like me. Every time I hear a 3-4 minute song, I go, okay, but you could have continued that. What are you doing? You know? And it's like, okay, I guess that's the song. So,
Yeah, there's a few songs that where I feel like you could expand more on it, but because you're feeding into like not maybe you're not even like a huge band, but you are trying to feed into this fan base. I feel like a lot of people now it's not what comes from the heart. It's kind of like, okay, what's the fastest way I can stuff dough in my pocket now? And I feel like obviously people need to make living off, whether music shouldn't be your number one living, but if you can sustain a living from it, obviously you want to make some money off of it. But I feel like
Yeah.
once you have this precious thing and then all you care about, you don't nurture it like it should, and you just focus on the money, I think that's when you lose that gift. And that's when you
I have like a
don't.
bit of an argument to that.
Oh yeah.
I have a bit of an argument to that. It's always been that way though. It's to make a lot of cash and to write good songs as an artist or as a band, you have to be the full package. And that doesn't happen, right? I mean, it's very rare because even though you make like fucking 8 or 9 songs an album, it all depends what your goals are, let's say. But it's like if somebody is paying you this much cash for you to use that money and make an album and then it's going to be pushed, it's because they're expecting fucking 2 hit songs that they're able to put money into that they could push and hope that and hope that, like, one of the songs hits something and then a lot of people enjoy it and then they buy the album. That's how it was
But
back then.
I
But
feel like now because
I think it's a bit the same, no? It's like, here's my song, but I want to make money off it, but it's my art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
But I feel like though now because of the internet, because everything has to be so has to be now that I have
yeah,
because attention spans are lower. I feel like now a lot of the songs on TikTok it has to have a fucking lame ass gimmick
yeah,
or like it can
yeah,
never just be good. It has to have a fucking lame ass gimmick that it has to have a lame ass gimmick or it just has to be fucking as mainstream as possible. And I know that there
yeah,
are bands like Nickelback and fucking Imagine Dragons and other shit ass bands that they do obviously capitalize on making it mainstream and they're big for a reason. But
yeah,
I feel like at some point, I mean, like you said that it's always kind of been like that. I just feel like with the internet now, it's just
yeah. I understand.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's you can't always just have you can have like the biggest budget and have all whatever, but you can still produce shit ass music. And I feel
just
like
like Greta Van
now,
Fleet. They have all
yeah,
the budget in
dude,
the world.
and they
I'm
still
kidding.
want to sound
I'm
like a
kidding.
boomer
I heard
band.
the album that they just did. It's way better than their last album and their 2 EPs or whatever. It's less
I
Led Zeppelin-y, I'd have to say.
do
A bit
because at
less.
some point, let's admit they did fucking rip off Led Zeppelin, man, heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a total, you know,
Yeah, but
rip on that.
I feel like who's the lead singer of Minor Threat?
Of who?
Minor Threat, the hardcore band.
Ian MacKaye. It's Ian
Something like
MacKaye
that.
or something.
He's the one that said like you have this special thing and you have to nurture it and it grows, but then as soon as you get all like it's all about the money now, it's just I feel like you kind of
Yeah,
lose it and it's like I feel like a lot of bands have or a lot of artists they have a unique sound and then oh well this is what's going to get me more money. I'm going to dumb my music down. I'm going to make
yeah.
it what's more catchy. I'm going to make it what's more mainstream and it's kind of like I'm tired of oversaturation.
Oh yeah, sorry. I had this point to add on to what you were saying. But I also feel like with the internet, I feel like the underground fans, they have it the best, bro. There's
Yeah,
literally, you could chat with people on Facebook that are into like harsh noise wall. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
it's like, here's where we are right now. You could literally meet people that are into the most shitty, disgusting sounds in the world.
what I listen to.
Well, same. I mean, sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah, most
you
of the
know,
time. But that's the thing though is that I feel like with the internet you can connect with people that you didn't know that existed that you could have the same things. And like you
yeah.
said, the underground has it better. I feel like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like like a lot of like underground bands like Contaminated, Pissgrave,
Piss
and
grave. Dude,
Pissgrave. Dude, if you want to hear some
I've
of
seen their
the
album things like online a bunch of times. I've seen.
if you want to hear some of the like fucking heaviest death metal, Pissgrave. But I feel
All right.
I, but I feel like a lot of those underground bands, like they're not gonna make it. They're
Yeah.
not gonna
No.
make it
No.
to Billboard. You're not gonna see Pissgrave with featuring Drake and Lil Baby. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. We fucking
I feel
fuck.
like they know that
Well, yeah. I
they
mean,
they know
yeah.
that but and they stay true to themselves. A lot of mainstream people once they hit it big it's kind of like I gotta stay here, which is no problem staying relevant, but it's just like
Yeah.
I hate that now you can't stay true to yourself. It's that I have to fucking be something I'm not instead of just continuing creativity. Diego? What would you like to see more like creativity wise amongst like artists?
Less mainstream shit, I guess. I mean, there's more like, cause the thing with mainstream, like what we were saying before, it's like people just do the mainstream shit for cash. It's an easy cash grab. Like, okay, you have your three chords, and then you're like, oh, you're singing, and like that's it. Then it gets all these hits, and then you're good, and then you can be more creative. But that's just the way the world works, and it's kind of shit. And yeah, so I feel like we could do better as a society, and we could
The fact
I
that
don't know.
we let Greta Van Fleet happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, I'm only
Led
joking.
Zeppelin cop out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yo, is
I'm just
that a
saying.
daughter shirt?
No, it's I mean I wish it was. This is Frank Zappa, but before he went on his own name, it was
Oh,
like
okay.
his older band. Well, not his older band, like he wrote all the songs and stuff, but it was before he made albums with his own name, I guess.
Okay,
So,
I just confused.
yeah.
Sorry
No,
for
but it
interrupting,
does
Diego.
look
But I
like that
just
album
yeah.
that
Yeah.
they have out. It came out like fucking a long time ago now. Like 2010 or something.
Something like that.
All right. Let's end the stream.